Hey,
Okay.
hey,
How are you?
You guys could
Come on in.
please refrain from using like this.
Come on in. What I say?
Okay. Hold on, man. Let me.
No. Come on
Okay.
in. Come on in.
No.
No.
I'm gonna walk back out. I don't work like this.
Way too often, we take scene safety for granted. Here's some things you should look for to keep yourself safe. Okay, before we get into the video, I want to make a few quick points. Number one, this was an event that I believe came out of Killeen, Texas, from their police department. This is not a police breakdown. This video is not about police tactics and what was done and what wasn't, what was right and what was wrong. I'm not a police officer. I'll leave that for the other channels that talk about police tactics to deal with. This video, I'm making it for a specific purpose. Number one, EMT and paramedic school and fire school do a horrendous job of teaching EMT and medics how to look for things that could potentially compromise scene safety. When we go through EMT and medic school, we all know the saying, BSI, gloves on, scene safe, but we take it for granted because it's something you have to just repeat incessantly all the way through school. So the point of this video is to point out certain things for new medics, and maybe even if you're a seasoned medic, things to look for and things to be aware of. Now, in this video, I'm going to be pointing out a handful of things that in and of themselves, by themselves, are not a big deal. It's nothing unusual. But anytime you walk into a scene, somebody else's house that you're not familiar with, you don't really know what the situation is, you should be paying attention. There's certain things you should look for. Even if it's not a bad thing, you should make a mental note of it and then move on with your patient assessment. The point that I'm getting at is that when you step onto any sort of scene, you should be taking in all of this information in its totality to make the best decisions for your patient, but also to keep you and your partner and the rest of your crew safe. Now, if you're a new EMT or a new medic or a new firefighter, learning what to look for takes time. It's very difficult to explain by just watching a video things to look for and what you should do in certain situations. You're going to be going on many calls over the course of your career, and over time you are going to develop almost like a sixth sense of what to look for. Hey, something doesn't seem right, maybe it's time to leave. Hey, everything's okay, it's safe. The other reason I wanted to make this video is because there's so many people that watch this channel. I want you to give your feedback. If you're an experienced EMT or you're an experienced medic or firefighter and you've been in a lot of scenes that are potentially dangerous, what are some things on this scene that you see that are potentially dangerous and kind of warning signs? If I don't point them out in the video, certainly call them out in the comments below. And finally, I will link the entire news story and video down below if that's something you want to watch. Again, the pertinent part of this video is only about 1.5 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll watch the entire video and then we'll go back and I'll give you kind of my feedback and some things to look for.
Killeen Police. Is the door open? Hello.
How you doing? Hey,
Okay.
hey,
How are you?
You guys could
Come on
please
in.
refrain from using like this.
Come on in. What I say?
Okay. Hold on, man. Let me.
No. Come on in.
Okay.
Come on in.
No. I'm gonna walk back out. I don't work like this.
Hey,
Give me the channel.
please don't.
All right, I had to come outside. There's about 6 of them in there. He came rushing at the door. He closed the door on me, so I'm just waiting for more units.
Take it by faith.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. I want to tell you the point. Let me see your hands.
Take it by faith.
Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground.
Hey, really quick, before we go any further, if you want to get bigger, faster, stronger, or more fit, I want you to check out Firefighter Furnace. Donnie is a full-time firefighter himself and knows exactly what it takes to be fit. Use offer code FirefighterNow20, that's FirefighterNow20 to get 20% off for life. All right, back to the video.
Hello.
How you doing?
Let him come straight. Come on.
Hey,
Okay, first thing I want you to notice. When you saw earlier, there were only about 2 cars in the driveway. And when he walks into the house, it looks like there's maybe 2 or 3 people here. And it sounds like there's some other people in the back of the house, as well as the guy that we'll see here in just a second. There's a lot of people in this house. And again, remember what I said. Just because you notice something doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad thing. Maybe there's multiple people that live here. Maybe families over visiting. That's not a big deal. But it's important for you to make a mental note of how many people are in the house whenever you walk in and where they are and what they're acting like. Right now, everybody's great. Everybody's friendly. But as you saw earlier, things can change pretty quickly. So the first thing I would say is when you walk into a house like this, or any house really, pay attention to how many people are there and the demeanor of the people. Right now, they all look pretty relaxed and pretty easygoing, and that's a good thing, but you'll see when he gets upset, nobody really jumps up to step in and say, hey, calm down, what's going on, or anything like that. Everybody just, as from what we can tell from the video, just kind of stands around.
Okay.
hey,
How are you?
You guys could
Come on
please
in.
refrain from using like this.
Come on in. What I tell you.
Okay. Hold on, man. Let me.
No. Come on
Okay.
in. Come on in.
No.
Second thing I want you to notice, the guy in the back that you see in the hallway right now is very, very adamant that he keep moving and come through that hallway. There's a few things. Number one, he looks like he's a big guy. Again, nothing wrong with being a big person, but if you are going into a unfamiliar scene and you're going somewhere, you don't want to get in a situation, especially if you're a smaller person where you're in a hand-to-hand sort of wrestling match with somebody that's significantly larger than you. Next thing, this is a tight hallway. You don't really have very many places to go. One of the most important things you can learn as a first responder is anytime you go into a house, or even as a firefighter, anytime you go in anywhere, you need to know how to get back out of there in case things go bad. Not necessarily bad on a scene, but definitely on a fire or anything like that. The other reason you want to pay attention to why those people were there is if you need to get out, you want to make sure nobody's blocking you in so that you can't get back out. So those are some of the things. Again, this is happening very quickly, and this guy is becoming very adamant and very irritated. Things that you want to pay attention to.
I'm gonna walk back out. I don't work like this.
Hey,
Give me the channel.
please don't.
Okay, so you saw everything went from very friendly, hey, how you doing, come on in, to hey, come back here, come back here, come back here, to hey, and now he's got very irritated and he's hostile and he's coming towards him. I think this police officer did the right thing of walking back out of that house. There's no reason to stay in that house. Again, this is not a police channel, so I'm not here to talk about police tactics, but this is a common thing you'll get as an EMT or a paramedic. You'll get a call for God knows what. Maybe it is a psychological evaluation. Maybe it's some sort of other medical issue. Maybe it's not even for that guy. Maybe it's for another family member. And people are saying, hey, come back here. People are amped up. People are worried. People are irritated. People are anxious. These are the things that you need to pay attention to. Scene safety is one of those things that we often take for granted, but can very quickly change, and you can find yourself in a bad situation. Worst of all, it's very difficult to teach these types of things unless you go out and you have these experiences. But the worst thing that you can do is find yourself in a bad situation. Remember, your job is to help other people, but that doesn't mean you should be putting yourself in dangerous situations where you can get yourself hurt or, God forbid, killed just to go help someone. So as always, I hope you found this useful and helpful. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.